So I'm standing here, putting my eggs into racks for incubation, and these are all duck eggs. Now you know that I have chickens and I have ducks. And after a while, after, I don't know, 2.5, 3 years, my chickens need to go down the road for processing. They start to lay eggs that are not, they're white instead of brown. All my chickens lay brown eggs. They're Rhode Island Reds. They look a lot like those, and they lay brown eggs. But after a couple years, they start losing the color, and they no longer lay brown eggs. So how do you tell the difference between chicken eggs and duck eggs out of a whole bunch of eggs that look the same? And the answer is a flashlight. Now this flashlight here, I think is an absolute glorious flashlight. And the reason I believe it is because it has this little cover on it here that you can slide back and forth. And what that means is it's actually a cover meant to cover the USB port and seal it so that it is waterproof. So there's the USB port that you charge with. So the unintended use for this is actually an egg candling light. But it has two modes. It has high, and then you tap it again, and it has low. So low is good for duck eggs, and high is good for goose eggs back here. But how do you tell the difference between the two when they both look white, right? So firstly, if you look at a duck egg closely, you'll see that it's smooth, real smooth, and it has kind of a waxy kind of color, feeling like it doesn't have any sort of like the surface of chicken eggs are just rougher. You can feel it with your fingers, I promise. And I already know which one, see how this one has little raised spots on it. So this is kind of rough, right? Most chicken eggs will be a little rough like this, unless they're new. Newly laying hens will be real smooth, but older hens, after a year or two, will be more rough. But say your eggs are smooth and they feel a lot like a duck egg. Let's take a look. So we turn the flashlight on here, and you can see that this one's very clearly a yellow color, and that's because of the white. So the white in there is actually not white, it's more yellow. And this one's going to look very similar, and I'm sorry about that, but let's see if we can go high. You can see that it's not quite as yellow. It's very bright. And even this one, when I light it up with the high mode, it's more yellow. It's very bright. And the reason you're seeing yellow there is because of the yolk. It keeps rotating around. But the albumin in duck eggs is much whiter. It's almost clear compared to a chicken egg. And you might think to yourself, well, my chicken eggs are clear. They're not. They look clear. And you'd never know it unless you actually looked at the albumin in a duck egg. And I'll go ahead, and I got a few bowls up here. We'll crack one open and I'll show you. So I'm going to crack them both into the same bowl so we can see them side by side. So this is the chicken egg. See that? It's yellow. All this white here is yellow. Let's go for the duck egg. The shell is much harder than a regular chicken egg. See that coloring? That white is clear, literally clear. It looks like water. Whereas the chicken egg is yellow. And I know, that's probably a little hard to see on camera there because I don't have perfect lighting or any of that stuff. But if you look at a duck egg, you can see it's very white. It's a lot thicker, a lot more rubbery compared to a chicken egg, which is more papery and, weak. Maybe if I move this over here, we can see it a little bit clearer. Get out in the light here. You might be able to see it a little better now. So the right side is very clear, almost water-like or glass-like, very, very clear. And the firmness of that yolk. Now that chicken egg wasn't old. It did have a crack in it, but it was only, I'd say, 2 days old. But it wasn't a crack through the membrane, so it was still good. I was just a little rough with it there. But duck eggs are a lot firmer. The yolks stand up more compared to chicken eggs, and you can see that in the color here, or the video. So it's they're a lot more durable than a chicken egg. So what that means in terms of cooking too is you can't cook them like a chicken egg. If you cook them hard, say you're doing sunny side up or over easy or whatever, if you cook them hard, duck eggs will come out like rubber. They'll be real rubbery and not a pleasant experience. Where chicken eggs, that's how we cook chicken eggs. But yeah. Anyway, so now you can see the difference. And if my goose eggs weren't so valuable to me, I'd crack one of them open too. But they're worth a little more than me than showing you what a goose egg looks like. But I assure you, picture one of those egg yolks 2 times that size. They're much, much bigger. Anyway, I hope you learned something, and I'll see you again next time.